So these are some incredible repo mods that will make the late game way more exciting. You'll have things like new enemy variants that only spawns in the later levels, new weapons to fight against these enemies, and also permanent skill unlocks for your character. Let's begin. First off, this is the Berserker enemies mod for Repo, and it introduces a different variant of enemies for you to face against in the late game. By default, these Berserk enemies will have a 10% spawn chance, spawning only after level 9, and they will emit a glowing red aura around them. These enemies by default will have 2000 HP, so killing them will prove to be a huge challenge. However, if done successfully, they will drop an extremely expensive orb worth around $40,000 by default. If you have installed the Repo config mod, you can tweak how the mod works, like the HP it has, the spawn rate, the orb's value, etc. You can also set it to being unkillable, but I wouldn't recommend it personally. This mod will add a spice of fear and excitement to the late game, and don't worry, I will be showing you mods that will help you in the late game as well, so these monsters will be manageable. If you want to use this mod, just make sure that everyone in the lobby installed it for it to work. Up next, this is the Steampunk items mod, and it adds in interesting valuables into Repo. There are 5 new items in total, and while some of them are just the usuals like a magnifying glass and a telescope, you have things like the stopwatch, which works like a wizard time glass with different effects, a new pickaxe weapon that you can use with really cool animation, and the star of the show, the headset, which has 4 special songs in total with its own particle effects. Again, not a lot of special valuable mods that adds in fun interactive features like this one, so I would definitely add this into my game. This mod requires everyone to install it for it to work. Now, since the late game just got more exciting, this is probably a must-have. This is called the Holy Repo Skills mod, and after installing this mod, it will provide the players with a longer-term goal to chase for, as it introduces permanent skill unlocks that you can grind for. Basically, your money earned will be accumulated. Once a certain threshold has been reached, these special skills will be unlocked. You can press P to open this skill menu. However, it doesn't stop there, as they can be upgraded as well after earning even more money. They are not cheap though, as unlocking them in the first place will take about $500,000, and every single upgrade after that will be another $500,000 on top of that. There are 3 unique skills in total, and they might seem overpowered, but they are really not. The first skill is the healing skill, which grants 10 HP to all nearby allies and an extra 2% HP regen based on the caster's health. The cooldown for this skill is a whopping 3 minutes, so you can't spam this every time, and it's pretty balanced in that sense. Based on the highest upgrade, you will be able to revive all nearby allies once per game. The second skill is called the Holy Aura. It grants 40% movement speed and 2% stamina regen based on the caster's max stamina. An upgraded version of it will grant bigger AoE and buff duration. Cooldown will be 90 seconds for this one, which is also pretty long. The third skill is called the Holy Wall. It has a cooldown of 90 seconds and summons an impenetrable wall for both allies and enemies. An upgraded version of this skill will have a chance to spawn grenades, stun mines, and increase its wall size. Basically, a defensive skill to protect the team. So as you can see, while these skills seem to be over the top, its extremely long cooldown makes up for it. Plus, it is a healthy way to incentivize players to grind for something else in the endgame and something to chase for. Works hand in hand with the previously mentioned Berserk enemies, as well as it spices up the gameplay a ton if you place these two together. Obviously, everyone needs to install this mod for it to work properly. Now here's another mod that will improve the late game. This is the Shared Upgrade Chance version 2 mod, and unlike the previously showcased team upgrades mod, this is a much more fairer version of it, as instead of providing a 100% chance for your team to get the upgrade as well, it reduces the chance to only about 50%. So this is perfect for people who likes the idea of the team getting the same upgrade but don't want to get too strong too quickly. A simple mod that I would definitely consider if you want the late game to have more variety. It requires everyone to install it for it to work. Now if you need more firepower for the berserk enemies, I think this may be what you're looking for. This is the cannon mod for Repo, and yes, it has in a purchasable cannon to be bought from the store for a hefty amount of money. Once bought though, this cannon will be a force to be reckoned with. It works like a cart that can be pushed around, and you will have about 3 shots in total. So that's like what, $13,000 per shot? And the damage, well, let's just say it can one-shot a slow walker. So it's up to you to decide if this is worth buying for, especially if you decide to use the berserk enemies mod, as the late game just got a lot more tougher. This mod requires everyone in the lobby to install it for it to work. Now as a quality of life mod, this is the map vote mod for Repo. I know that some people probably prefer a way to vote for maps, so this is the one for them. It simply adds in a map voter into the lobby and at the end of the round. Probably not for everyone, as the randomness is what keeps this game fun, so I guess it is only for a small group of people that wants this feature. And aside from these amazing mods that ramps up the late game, here are even more amazing mods that you can try out for yourselves right now. I'll see you there.